Hello everybody and welcome to my P.U.N.K Orcust deck profile. Now this deck has done me very well. It's not the best way to play P.U.N.K. I would argue Pure, Therion or one of the other variants of P.U.N.K is probably the best way to play in the current meta, but it allows me to play the Orcust cards very nicely. I found Orcust was very susceptible to hand traps playing Pure or Scrap Orcust or even Dodig Orcust, which I saw. But with the P.U.N.K it insulates it very nicely and it raises the ceiling of the deck a lot. So I'll get straight into the profile. First of all, we're playing one Ogre Dance and two Foxy Tune. I think this is correct. You don't need more than one Ogre Dance. Ogre Dance is great as a searcher. You can search your Xiamen, which of course is your starter card. It's also nice as a level 8, a dark body on field with its effect. It becomes really big. And a dark for your Chaos Ruler plays. Now, two Foxy I think is correct. You don't want to brick on it. But if you see one, it's perfectly fine. If you see two in hand at the very worst, without searching it, you are able to ditch it off as an extender, or you can search the Deer Note to make more extension of it. It's also a level 8 and a light, so perfect for Chaos Ruler play. Next, one Deer Note. Just a great card, really busted. It's good for extension in the main combo. It of course facilitates the whole main combo, I'll show that later. But it's great when you don't even open the combo and you get interrupted. You can have Deer Note bring something back and then keep going. 3 Xiamen, just the best card in this whole deck. This is amazing. It puts you on lower life point, which is good for Psychic End Punisher later in the deck profile, and it's just an amazing starter. You want to play 3. We're not playing the Brave Adventure Engine, so there's no point to not play 3 normal summons. 3 Emergency Teleport, amazing. It's just 3 more Xiamen. You want to see this as much as possible. I have other targets for this in this deck as well, so it's just an amazing starter. Onto the Orcust stuff. 3 Girsu. As I said, there's no Brave Engine, so this is amazing to play at 3. You want to play 3. 3 is definitely correct. It's a 1-card Orcust combo. I'm not playing Phantom Knight stuff, so Orcust combo isn't going to be such a big thing with PK extension, but Girsu is just so good, especially as you've done your full P.U.N.K combo. Say you open an E-Telly, you don't commit to your normal summon, so you can go E-Telly for Xiamen, do your full P.U.N.K combo, and then do your full Orcust combo as your normal summon with Girsu. Just an amazing card. 2 Nightmare. This is definitely correct. You don't want to see 3 at all. I've never found myself needing 3. Even just to recycle them, I've never needed 3. 2 is perfect. You don't want 1 because sometimes you run out of it and it's in your banish and you can't recycle it because you can't use its effect to actually put something in your grave to recycle it. It's great at 2, I wouldn't play it at 3. 1 Bombard, 1 Skeleton and 1 World Wand. Now, I think this is perfect. 1 Bombard is great to get your Girsu out of your hand. It's another way to play it. If you have Bombard, you can make Bombard, Linkaribo effect to get Girsu. Symbol Skeleton is just so good for getting Din Girsu back, and World Wand is your key Orcust combo play, where you get your Nightmare back from grave and make Galatea. I've seen people play 2 of these 2. I tried that, but it's just such a tight list that I don't think if you're recycling them properly, you should ever need to play 2. To wrap up the Orcust stuff, playing 1 Babel and 1 Crescendo. This is perfect. Babel is amazing. Just being able to use the Din Girsu on your opponent's turn, being used to able to use Galatea on your opponent's turn to set Crescendo if you already don't have it or it's in your grave. Crescendo is just amazing as well. I had it when it was disrupted. It went to my grave, and I can use the second effect there as well to search for Din Girsu. Sorry, not Din Girsu. Girsu or any of my other Dark Machines that I need. Really amazing card, and stops Dark Ruler as well. Just so great. That's the main 2 engines, but I'm going to go into some extension here. 1 Tsushinoko, 1 Jackalope, and 1 Destrudo. Tsushinoko and Jackalope are amazing in this deck. Destrudo was supposed to be Nessie. Now, I didn't have the Nessie for the last tournament I played with this, and Destrudo did just fine as an extension. Tsushinoko and Jackalope are obviously 2 of the best dangers, Nessie being the 3rd best, and Nessie also happens to be a level 7, which is great for synchro plays. Now, these 2 are great for link climbing as well. Tsushinoko, of course, if you know its effect, if it's discarded by its effect, it comes back. If it's not discarded by its effect, it's special summoned, so it's a guaranteed special summon. Jackalope, if it's not discarded by its effect, it's special summoned, and if it is discarded by its effect, it searches a danger, which is where, if you've already used P.U.N.K, you would want the third danger. That's the only issue with playing 2 dangers. And Destrudo is just a nice extender. It's also a tuner, so it can help you make Hulk line if you, say, normal summon a Gearsu and have Destrudo in hand. You can make Hulk line there, which is quite nice. Those cards also help get your Orcusts in grave, which is very, very nice. Other kind of non-engine bricks, I would say: Jet Synchron, Gizmek Orochi, and Artifact Scythe. Now, none of these are actually bricks. Jet Synchron's great to 1-card Hulk, which then leads you into a Hulk Summon Breath Bombard to extend with any Orcust cards in hand. Gizmek Orochi is the MVP of this deck, banishing 8 every turn and having an effect that you can destroy a card your opponent controls by banishing 3 of your extra deck cards. Just so powerful. Comes back 8 every turn, 8 banished every turn, and it makes your Cheng Ying, which is the level 10 Synchro of choice in this deck, so big. So it's amazing. And of course, Scythe, not a brick. If you draw Scythe, you don't have to make Dagda, which is just amazing. You have another free 2 materials that you can make any other link to, or even Synchro with. These 3, no bricks. 1 foolish. It speaks for itself. It's just so good. You can send your Gizmek, you can send your Jet Synchron, you can send your Nightmare if you want. It's just amazing. And of course, Destrudo. You want to play this. It's a one-off. You might as well. Non-engine, so hand traps. Playing 3 Veiler. It's a light, and it's a tuner, which is Hulk access. It's also a level 1 tuner, so you can make synchros with it. And it's a light, so you can get it from Chaos Ruler. Then playing 2 Ash. It's only a fire, although it is a level 3 tuner, which is very nice for synchro plays. It's a fire, and I only actually own 2, so hence me playing 2. I wouldn't play it at 3 though, even. 1 Ogre as a target for something I'll show later. It's also nice to have off of Hulk or Italy. 3 Imperm, very good card. You want it. I would consider cutting this to 2, and in fact playing 1 Nibiru. I'm not maining 3 Nibiru, or maybe the 3rd Ash. Now, the reason I would cut this is because it's dead when it's milled off of Chaos Ruler, as opposed to Nibiru or say like Lancia, which I have in the side deck, or even Ghost Ogre or Veiler there. So Imperm, very decent card, but would consider cutting it to 2. Next, I'm playing 3 Crossout. Now, this is a bit of an odd choice for this meta especially, but I think 3 Crossout is a very strong choice for this deck. It helps insulate all your plays. Orcust has, of course, been very susceptible to just Veilering the normal summon or stopping the normal summon. And with P.U.N.K as well, if you're playing such a small P.U.N.K engine, you sometimes run into situations where you have no extension. So Crossout with the targets I have being Imperm, Ogre, Ash, and Veiler is very strong. It's also good because it banishes a card which can proc your own Cheng Ying on your turn or your opponent's turn. Very strong. It's not budget, but very strong card. I'm playing 1 Call By. You've got to play this. It's busted, needs to be banned. That is the main deck. It's a 40 card main deck. I will now get onto the extra deck. Quite tight extra, but there is some flex spots, and I'll get to that. 1 Link Rebo for the Gearsu play, the Gearsu token, and to make the regular line with Hulk Fibrax. Very good card. You know, it just facilitates so much in so many decks. So good, you get you can use both of its effects in this with the TG Wonder Magician as well, which is just amazing. Dagda, of course, sets Scythe. We're playing Scythe Lock. You have to play Scythe Lock in this kind of deck. You can play Calamities, but I just feel Scythe Lock is so much easier to get to than Calamities that you might as well just do it, because it's actually more powerful if you use it right. 1 IP Masquerena, very nice in this deck. For example, if you open Scythe, you don't have to make Dagda, you can make IP. You can make IP with extra extension with some of your dangers, for example, and then go into either a Unicorn or an Appaloosa. Now, Unicorn is just very good in most things. It's extra disruption. You can go Orcust combo, make IP with Dingirsu and Nightmare, for example, and then go into a Unicorn. So you have 2 pops with a Babble. Appaloosa is good, very nice in this deck because Orcust Nightmare can boost it by a further 800, giving it 5 negates as opposed to 4. It's nice to make off IP, but I would consider cutting it for an access code. You're then playing 2 Galatea for the rest of the links. 2 is definitely correct. I have found myself needing 3, but the space is just so tight I can't really warrant playing 3. But you definitely play 2 over 1. The 2 Xyz monsters in the deck, 2 Dingirsu. Very, very good. You're making 1 typically with your Galatea, and then you can make 1 either naturally with the Gizmek and the Chaos Ruler, for example, or any of your 2 punks, or you can make it on the following turn with another Galatea. Very good. I would not play this at 1. For the synchros, playing TG Wonder Magician for the combo. A Borreload Savage Dragon, very, very strong all-round card. You know, you're going to want it for the just to fall back on, and as a negate, if you have overextension, you can make a Savage. Chaos Ruler for the Punk combo, and if you really don't want to make Chaos Ruler, you can just go into Savage to insulate your plays, which actually is a very, very decent play. Protects against Nibiru. If you know there's Nibiru, you can make your Savage. Instead of making Chaos Ruler, you don't get your mills, but if you have enough extension, you might as well make Savage. I'm playing Chengying to make with the Wonder Magician and Scythe. This is just so good in this deck. I'd argue, in fact, even better than Baron, and much, much cheaper. Now, the Gizmek, all of the Orcust cards, they all proc its effect to banish 2. It's just such a powerful effect. And the Gizmek especially, banishing 8 every turn to make him really big and make all the opponent's stuff really small is just amazing. Came up for me so many times. Really, really, really good card. Lastly, I'm playing 1 Psychic End Punisher just to sit on. You can make a level 11 really, really easily in this deck with any of the punk stuff, really. You can make level 8s and 11s very, very easily. Punisher is amazing. You sit on it and they can't do anything against it unless they attack into it, which of course is an issue, but typically you can burn yourself down with the punk stuff enough, or you can burn with its own effect, which banishes 2 cards from the field. Very, very, very powerful card. Good against Sword Soul as well. Very, very good against Sword Soul, because they burn you with the long one effects, and you just make Punisher. To the side deck, very catered for my locals, but I will show you anyway. 3 Lancia, it's a light, and it's an artifact, which means you can get it off of Dagda. If you're playing against Floandrees, for example, I would get the Lancia off of Dagda instead of Scythe, and pop it, and then tribute it off the field. So it's a searchable Lancia. It's also a light, so you can get it off of Chaos Ruler. 3 Nibiru, I'm siding this, although almost every game, even going first or going second, depending on what matchups I'm playing, I will side at least 1 in as a crossout target. Very, very good card, you've got to play it. It's a complete blowout. Another blowout card, 3 Dark Ruler. I want to draw this against Sword Soul, I want to draw this against anything that puts up loads of negates. It's just so good. If they can't negate it, Sword Soul typically can't negate a Dark Ruler. Despia have a hard time unless they have the Trap card set or Branded and Red set, which most of the time they do, but Dark Ruler is still very, very strong. Playing 3D Barrier, you've got to play it in this format. Just so good going first, so good going second even. If you can simplify the game state, maybe with a Punk combo into a Punisher, you can simplify it enough that you can then drop a D-Barrier on turn 3, which is just so good. Back row hate, playing 1 red reboot to stop D-Barrier, or to stop any other annoying traps. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, just amazing, good blowout card. And then a Twin Twister. The only reason I'm playing Twister over Cosmic, which I might have actually got wrong, is Twister discards a card, so if you have an Orcust and a Twister in hand, you begin to play even with Disruption. But Cosmic is very nice because it procs your Chengying, has a banish effect anyway, so I might consider that. Anyway, that has been the deck profile. Please tell me if there's anything you'd like to see in the comments, or any questions in the comments for any choices I've made in the deck. Now, I think this is really, really, really streamlined, and there's as streamlined as you're going to get with this kind of thing. It's not top tier meta, but it's certainly a very, very nice lower tier competitor to play with, and I think if you can pilot it very skillfully, it works. The Orca stuff helps protect against Dark Ruler with Crescendo. The Punk stuff is just so powerful. It's really, really powerful to get big synchros out. And with E-Tele, it's just such a broken card. You want to abuse that while it's in the game. I think the extenders are fine, other than the Distributor I might cut for a Nessie. But these 3 I think are really, really good. Gizmek is just so good in this. I saw people saying they weren't going to play Gizmek, but I see no reason why not to. Such an amazing card. Anyway, thank you for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video.